Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video, and I'm super excited about this one. We're kicking off a mini series and Vechain have kindly opened their doors to us in Dublin so we can spend time with their team, and this is something that Nick, myself and our team have really wanted to do for a long time, and that is sit down with different team members, various different roles at a blockchain company, and get their views on why they chose that company, what it's like working there, what they do, a typical day, and all this wonderful stuff. There's so much that we learn from spending the day, or a couple of days in fact, with Vechain, various different roles and responsibilities that these individuals have at the company, and I think it's really insightful. So a different type of content, but I think that it's a perspective that isn't really covered currently on YouTube. So we really wanted to do this. Let us know, your thoughts and opinions. We're going to kick off the mini series with Bernard, and we're going to get straight down to the interview. If you enjoy the interview and the mini series, do give this a like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tap in that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and let us know in the comments as well if what sort of content you would like to see from Vechain or other blockchains in the space. Is this the sort of thing that just gives you a different view or a different perspective on blockchain companies out there? And a big thank you to Vechain for allowing us the time out of their busy schedules to sit down and chat about everything Vechain and blockchain. It's been fantastic. Let's get down and meet Bernard.
Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know we pulled you away from the team for the interview. Can we start by perhaps just getting you to introduce who you are and what you do at Vechain to start off with?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘. I work as head of architecture in Vechain. I joined Vechain in August last year, and my qualification, my background, I qualified as a electronic engineer from Trinity College in Dublin, just down the road. And I've been working in software as an engineer for 27, 28 years.
Awesome. What was it about blockchain that got you sort of so heavily involved in it?
I had a good friend who sadly passed this year, but he introduced me to Bitcoin probably in 2012 when he was investing, and when I was working in a tech company. He started talking about the token itself, and then we started to understand the technology a little bit. Didn't really catch on in my head until maybe 2016, 2017, when Ethereum really kind of grabbed my attention, the whole concept of smart contracts. So that's when I started to get really interested.
Obviously you work in a Vechain. What was it about Vechain? Obviously there's quite a few projects, right? What was it that stood out about Vechain?
Well, it was a kind of perchance circumstance. I did some voluntary work in Blockchain Ireland. I then was lucky enough to be hired by Irish Life, who were, as part of their corporate social responsibility budget, they were looking at a thing called Project Emerald, which is a digital identity ecosystem. And I happened to bump into Antonio and we kept in touch. He was expanding the European Technology Centre at the time, and the opportunity come up to look at joining Vechain. So it was very circumstantial. I'd done various projects in the ecosystem, some small, some larger ones, and it was just timing really. So I was very lucky.
Awesome. And what are some of the things that you're working on with Vechain?
Yeah, so in my role, I'm very lucky where I get to work across all of the products we're building. So the ones you would know about and some that you may not know about yet. So the likes of Forge and our wallet products. So kind of on a day-to-day basis, I tend to spread myself around the projects. I tend to gravitate myself towards some of the newer work, given the maturity of some of our existing products, as they're more well defined. They're in the marketplace, whereas my type of work is involved in helping form the teams, identify the skills that are required, some of the design and architecture to get the work up and running to a state where we can I can look elsewhere maybe to support other products that we're building.
If there is a typical day? What is a typical day for you at Vechain?
Yeah, I tried to spread my work between the higher level stuff, the strategy, and then the kind of lower level stuff that will need your attention on a daily basis. I'm lucky that the way our teams are set up, we'd be internally very transparent. So I tend to focus in my morning on the non-strategic important stuff, and then the afternoon on the strategic side of things, the bigger picture things. So that might be recruitment, planning for the quarter ahead, whereas in the morning, kind of day-to-day engineering activities.
What are you most excited about that you're currently working on?
We've just launched our new wallet, which hopefully will have hit the news by the time this launches, and that's really, really exciting because it's a fundamental building block. I've been very excited to have had the opportunity, for example, in Paris and Jacksonville, to show our community 𝗕𝗓𝗪 and some of our new libraries. And when you piece these pieces together, they're kind of foundational blocks that our community would expect to be offered by the likes of Vechain. So it's really seeing these things come together, and also some of the things we plan to release in the coming months. So it's a combination of everything that makes it exciting.
Cool. And what would you say is the most rewarding part of your role at Vechain?
I think it's the people diversity and the technology diversity. People would often say a week in crypto is like a month or 6 months in a traditional tech company. So it's the changeability. We're very lucky that Antonio has brought in a culture where it encourages diversity, innovation, risk-taking. So it just makes for a very exciting week or month if you think back to any week or month that we've worked in Vechain. So people diversity, technology diversity, control risk-taking, and getting to work on different products.
Awesome. And we're getting a lot of questions from people that are really interested in getting involved, like from a work perspective in blockchain. What advice would you give somebody that was perhaps looking to start on that journey?
Yeah, to work in, say, the CTO team, it's very engineering focused. I wouldn't get too stressed about learning a particular language. There's some very common ones that are taught very well in college. So I guess it's trying to get good at one or two things. I think in crypto and blockchain tech, given the nature of the industry, it's very changeable. Requirements change. There's a lot of competing chains out there. So it's having that flexibility, getting good at one or two things, but learning the key concepts that underpin the likes of Bitcoin and Ethereum and Vechain. Understanding those core concepts would be translatable to many of the roles that we have in Vechain.
Is there anything that we perhaps haven't covered that you'd like to share with our community, like some of the stuff that you're working on, perhaps that we haven't touched on?
I think have a look at our website. Have a look at our GitHub repos. We're going to start open sourcing some things that we have been working on in the background, whether it's documentation or some of our products. So we'd ask the community to get involved. We've relaunched our VIP process, which incentivizes the community to come up with new ideas, because ultimately Vechain's success is down to providing the technology and the tools to help the community with their own businesses and their use cases, whether they're individual artists, individual developers, or large enterprises. So engage with us, meet us at the events that we're at around the world. Bring your ideas. We have a grants program, we have a VIP process, so we have lots of channels for you to communicate with the team and help us grow the ecosystem.
Fantastic. And I really want to say thanks for taking the time to spend it with myself and the audience to talk about everything Vechain and what you're doing there. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So that was Bernard from Vechain. Fantastic interview, and I really appreciate him taking the time out of his busy schedule. Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Really interested to get some feedback on the sorts of content that you would like to see, both from us, Vechain, and other blockchains. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to spend it with us, learning more about Vechain. If you enjoyed the video, mash up the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tap in that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.